So as we start talking about velocity, we need to starting off by talking about speed. And speed tells us how fast we're moving. So if you have a really high speed, you're moving really fast. If you're really low speed, you're going slowly. For example, here's some speed numbers. 55 miles an hour tells you how far you're going, 55 miles every 1 hour. 2.65 meters per second means you're going 2.56 meters every second. This object is moving 3.8 feet every year, so that's really slow. And this one's moving 0.1 millimeters every day, so again, that's another really slow one. So here we can see that there's two things going on in speeds. It is the distance you travel and a time it takes to travel that distance. Distance over time, distance over time, distance over time. And in fact, any number distance you have over any time is going to give you a speed. But then what's velocity? And oftentimes people confuse speed and velocity because honestly they're almost identical. So velocity also tells you how fast you're going, but it gives you an extra piece of information, which is which direction you're moving in. So velocity tells you direction and how fast you're moving. So speed and direction. Let me give some examples of velocities here. So each of these down here is a velocity, and here's why. This first part here is speed, how fast you are. This part is direction. Again, how fast you're going, 5.7 meters every second, and you're moving downward, there's the direction. And here's your speed, and here's your direction. Of course, the negative means you must be moving backwards instead of forward. So here are three different ways of giving directions: east, down, negative. Really, any way you can think of that you can figure out which direction you're moving in turns your speed into a velocity. All right, so that's the difference between speed and velocity. Now the nice thing is the equation that for them are the same. Speed and velocity are the exact same equation. And that equation, write it in red, that equation is velocity is equal to, notice how all these are the same pattern, distance over time, the change in distance, how far you travel, divided by the change in time. Right? And this is equal to, I'm going to write it out in words real quick, change in distance, how far you travel, divided by the change in time, how long it took. Right? So change in distance divided by change in time. You can see why we don't write it out this way, why we use symbols instead. So this little delta sign here is a Greek letter delta, means change in distance, and this means change in time. So every distance change, time changed. All right, so now you're ready to get to the meat of it. Now we're going to use this equation. We're going to solve it for velocity, distance, and time separately. So as soon as you're ready to move on, go ahead and click here for solving for velocity. You are clicking right down the lower right-hand corner here, solving for velocity. Click there. You should have clicked already. And you're clicking now, hopefully. Why haven't you still clicked? Oh my gosh, you're running out of time. You have 2 seconds left. Oh no!